Hi everyone, this is Menz here. I'm going to be playing the Tier 7 American cruiser, the Pensacola. Now, coming from the Cleveland at Tier 6, the Pensacola, it's essentially a side grade. It's not that much better than a Cleveland, and really it's a little bit of a disappointment because moving up to the stock Pensacola, it's actually a downgrade from the Cleveland until you upgrade it. The Pensacola does see you get fairly larger guns. You have less of them than the Cleveland. Do have a little bit more of a firing range on them, so you can reach about a kilometer further than the Cleveland. However, Pensacola, to me, it's not that much of a upgrade. You mainly trade a little bit here or there for other things, but it doesn't really make sense right now to me, moving from the Cleveland to the Pensacola up a tier without gaining much. So most likely it will be changed before the game goes live, since it does need a little buff to something. Now, this is tier 10 match. Just got dragged into it because obviously these 3 tier 10s have kind of sat in the queue for way too long. So we have the Yamato over there. I'm gonna try to stick on this other side. He's most likely gonna hold down the 1 to 3 line fairly well. So I'm gonna go on the other side here. Now, being a cruiser, I don't want to fight battleships at very far ranges. I'm not going to win that battle. They have more range than me, more armor, especially at long distances, and I'll die before I get too close. So I don't want to get too close to destroyers, but I don't want to get too far away that I'm going to be taking a lot of damage from other ships. So usually on this map, I try to stick in here a little close, see what happens here. Usually there's more people, so usually a lot of my team heads out here and I kind of stick in the middle to figure out where I'm needed. We'll just see how this strategy works where you don't have exactly a lot of people on your team. Now, one thing I notice a lot of people do is they automatically send out their scout plane immediately when the game starts. I always like to hold on to it until I'm kind of close to the center. I don't want to just kind of plop it down there and see it be useless. Now, you can be hit in between here, so I'm most likely almost seen. I'm not exactly sure if he saw me. Planes don't exactly have the furthest spotting range compared to ships, which is a little odd, but it's most likely a balancing parameter. Yeah, got some incoming rounds here. Okay, and that's gonna hurt. Just need to get a little closer, and I'm just trying to help out a little bit in the AA department. I don't want to go around this bend. There's a destroyer there, so I'm going to start turning pretty hard, which the Pensacola is not exactly good at. So that's another downside. So you cannot, it feels very sluggish. So unfortunately, there are battleships over here. I thought he would have headed or head the other way. At least he's... oh shit, he's heading away from me. Now, something of concern to World of Warships is there's an aim assist mod actually going around now, and it's not illegal as of now. Essentially, it shows you a little marker in front of every single ship, and depending on the ship's speed, distance from you, your speed, etc., etc. It gives you a bearing on where to aim at the ship. It's a little bit of a concern. So it is a very big advantage over somebody who does not have. I'm hoping that they either implement something like that or somehow cover up so they cannot make mods like that, but that's pretty much impossible. So hopefully they implement some sort of like aim leader like the torpedo is, so people aren't going to have an unfair advantage. Okay, so this guy... Gotta be careful I don't run into my friendly here. Okay, so should be right about there if he doesn't start turning. Now, Pensacola does have good anti-air capabilities. Haven't really shown them off on this match much because the enemy carrier seems pretty well with avoiding us cruisers over here. I was fairly sure he hit there, but I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, there he is. He dodged a little too late, but I didn't hit him with all my shells. See if I can get one more hit on him. Fortunately, there's this island here, so I have to start turning right. At least I hit him a few times, though. I'm not going to hit any of them, I believe. I didn't lead him enough for being a destroyer. Glad he missed. That would have hurt a lot had he hit me. A little bit of a concern having that battleship on me, but most of their cruisers were heading back to this side, so I'm not going to bother going back over it at Baltimore. Hopefully he doesn't do anything stupid, but he should be fine over there as long as he doesn't get himself into too much trouble. There, 2 shots went there. I was like, it's very unlikely that they're gonna go through, but I always try. Be nice if I was back there to help with this AA, but see if I can get this guy, although he's just on the outskirts of my range. That was a decent hit. Just missed. I needed to hit a little lower. I'm most likely gonna fuck myself here and run into the wall. Yeah, I should have saw that coming. I keep forgetting that this thing cannot turn whatsoever. And that's one of my hugest gripes coming from the Cleveland to the Pensacola is you can't turn for shit in this thing compared to other cruisers. It almost feels like you're driving a battleship at times. It's that bad. Let's see if that's going to get me off. I need to get out of here as quick as possible, so I'm taking a little bit of a risk. I am back up as much as I could have, but I need to get out of here or else there's no chance for me to survive this. That destroyer's licking his chops like I'm gonna get this guy. But, fortunately for me, I was able to get out of just in the nick of time. Yeah, I would have been screwed had I waited another second or two. Let's hope these overshoot me. I'm gonna start turning back. Got these torpedoes incoming. Yeah, he's coming again for me. Activate my AA ability, but that's not going to do too much. Yeah, it'd suck if... Yeah, thankfully, I was about to say, they are way too close to actually arm, except for that one. Really sucks when they arm right next to your ship and blow you to bits. Luckily, only one hit me, but it's still one too many that I wanted to take. I definitely isolated myself from my team, which is the issue here. This is a very team-oriented game, and I'm out here by myself taking a lot of damage for stupid reasons. But I might get out of this alive. Might. Still not sure here. Unfortunately, I can't see the guys still shooting at me. Be nice if you can control your scout planes in this game, but you cannot. So they just kind of fly where you don't exactly need them to be. And I can't see that guy even though he can see me. Most likely there's a destroyer spotting me, and with their camo I can't spot them, yet that cruiser can still shoot me because he's within range. I'm going to pop over here. Hopefully I can help out in the AA department. I don't want to expose myself too much, since I'm essentially one or two shottable, depending on how many hits actually hit me and if they use AP instead of HE. Yeah, see, I'm gonna be fucked here. Guy's still able to hit me, but I'm not able to see him in return until now. My only hope is to stay over this side, but put myself against destroyers and a lot more ships over here. Be nice if I could get this destroyer out of here, though. Yeah, I just messed up. He's not gonna miss me again. Yeah, I'm probably gonna die here. Especially because I'm most likely gonna run into something again. Maybe I'm not. These look like they're gonna hit me though. See if I can help out just with this dive bomber. Activate my ability because he's about to finish me off here. Yeah, that fire is gonna take me out before I'm able to do anything. So I survived a lot longer than I thought I was going to, but the problem I have with the Pensacola, it's a cruiser, but compared to the Cleveland, you don't really gain much firepower over that. It feels a lot more sluggish than the Cleveland. You have less turret, so if you lose a turret and you're not able to fix it, you lose a lot of your firepower. Now, hopefully this guy's able to take out the New Orleans, but the Pensacola, though, armor's still poor. It just doesn't have a lot over the Cleveland. Anti-air is a little bit better, I'll give it that, but it just merely feels like a tier 7.5, and hopefully they buff it a little bit. If they give it like a little bit higher rate of fire, I'd be perfectly fine with that, or maybe a little more hit, I don't know. I was gonna say hit points, but at the same time, that's not its biggest concern. It's mainly its mobility with turning, and also it doesn't have a ton of firepower coming up from the Cleveland. But the Cleveland is very, very good at tier 7, so maybe nerfing the Cleveland a little bit would remedy this situation. Still surprised this New Orleans is doing so well against this Yamato. I know he's most likely going to die from these secondaries, but he shouldn't have made it this close to him. Oops, kinda exit out there for a little bit. But yeah, you see all these secondaries. You do not want to get very close to this ship if you can help it. You're going to take a lot of damage once you get close up, but he was pretty close to destroying this battleship. And as you can see, view range wise, this thing, the Yamato, you do not want to get in a fight in long range against it. Close up, you don't want to get too close, but its turrets don't turn very quick, so if you are in a destroyer or a very fast cruiser, you can outpace its turrets being able to turn and keep up with you, but you really have to judge that correctly. Nicely done. Yeah, he just got nailed. Yeah, I highly doubt we're going to be able to finish this. That's the problem with matches with not a lot of ships in World of Warships compared to World of Tanks. When you don't have a lot of tanks, most likely you don't have draw. A lot of people die very quickly because people play aggressively. In World of Warships, you can't exactly do that as much because it's a team game and it's mainly built around playing as a team in groups and working together. Destroyers in front, spotting, plugging up holes, just little things, and cruisers being all-around ship, battleships staying back, taking the hard hits, and also dealing out a ton of damage from long range, aircraft carriers, destroying battleships and other aircraft carriers for the most part. But once you start breaking apart and getting alone like I did, the game becomes a lot more frustrating and more boring in my opinion. And for matches like this where it's difficult to play as a team because essentially you have one big blob or two small blobs and the enemy same thing, it's either going to be really one-sided, or if both teams play as a team like this, it's very difficult to actually get anything done within the time frame because there's just not enough firepower to go around to swing the battle in any one way unless your team makes a very bad mistake. But as far as the Pensacola goes, it's not a bad ship, it's just it feels a little underpowered for a tier 7, especially when coming from the Cleveland. I only got one hit to the Citadel, 41 hits. Got a decent amount of credits, 221,000. Experience, alright. Experience wise, I got the most on my team somehow, miraculously. Damage wise, I did just under 40,000, which at tier 7 isn't anything great. I destroyed 5 planes in total. I was popping back to the garage here. Now, as you see here, just general stats of the Pensacola compared to the Cleveland here. You don't see that much of a difference. Survivability, 1 point higher. Artillery, Pensacola actually has less. AA guns, actually less than Cleveland, but I think the Pensacola's AA is actually better all around. Maneuverability, 1 point higher, and concealment is worse. But overall, armor, pretty poor on the Pensacola compared to the Cleveland that actually has a little bit more armor. Now, the main difference is the main batteries. As you see here, you have 2 turrets with 2 203 millimeters and 2 turrets with 3 203 millimeters, and then your secondaries, compared to the Cleveland where you have 4 turrets with 3 152 millimeters. So while the gun count is a little bit lower on the Pensacola, you do get bigger guns, and they reach a little bit further and do a little bit more damage per shot. But overall, the Cleveland to me is such a good ship at tier 7 or tier 6 that at tier 7 Pensacola is really lacking. They almost could flip-flop them and no one would really complain because the Cleveland is that good. But we'll see how it goes as the beta and further testing phases go. But right now, it is a little bit of a disappointment moving from the Cleveland to the Pensacola. So anyway, thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out my website, menzgaming.com/World of Warships. Thanks for watching.